Okay, I just got done watching WWE NXT, and my first overall impression of the whole show was it felt fresh and it moved pretty quickly, and I liked that. It definitely had like more spruced up feel and just felt a bit more lively than like say your average episode of Raw, and it was good. It had some nice little touches like kind of different camera angles and had a smaller ring as well. It definitely felt like something different from WWE than what we've been getting in quite a while. And the whole premise of the show was 8 WWE wrestlers or pros mentoring 8 NXT rookies. Obviously not all of them are rookies in like the traditional sense, because someone like Bryan Danielson has been wrestling over the world for like over 10 years, and yeah, it was kind of interesting. I didn't know how they were going to go about this show, but I think they did some good. You know, they did some good introducing these new wrestlers or rookies as it were, and some of the interaction with like the pros between them was kind of interesting, and it kind of wasn't like really traditional like how it was with Toughen Up, where they were like training them up to be something from scratch. It seems like very like storyline and kayfabe, like something could build up off of it. Especially in the case with Daniel Bryan and The Miz, and yeah, this was a very good start to it. The Miz walking out, sizing up all the rookies as they were in a line. They're mentioning Daniel Bryan, putting over the fact that he's popular on the internet and all that, and saying, "Could you do what I do?" And Daniel Bryan goes on down, and the promo he cuts is pretty funny. It's literally some of the stuff he was saying. I felt like he was talking to the fans that have like known him for years, saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry that it's The Miz and not William Regal or something," because apparently William Regal had a hand in training him up to when he started being a wrestler, along with Shawn Michaels. But yeah, it's set up a nice kind of like overlong storyline for the season, I guess, with The Miz and him. I mean, The Miz would come down and say, "Oh, that's the best you got," and Daniel Bryan showed that he's like confident and ready to like take on this new step in his wrestling career, and there's a bit of tension between them. Miz slapped him. That was good. This is kind of like what everyone thought it was going to be like, you know. We know like the WWE paired those two up just to kind of create some kind of buzz or controversy, and it's kind of working. They'll like have some kind of storyline within some kind of realm or whatever. God, I mince my words. But yeah, what was next was I think I have to look up these names because I'm still a bit shaky on them. Yeah, I think next we were introduced to Michael Tarver, who Carlito's mentoring, and he had this kind of like MMA boxing kind of look, and yeah, that's it really. I mean, there wasn't much interesting about him. They basically had a tag match with Christian and his guy Heath Slater, who's a one-man rock band apparently, which is pretty ridiculous. And yeah, Carlito and Michael Tarver, just a kind of ordinary match. Heath Slater felt like he was showing a lot of like charisma in the ring and character, but his wrestling was like really floppy. And like if you saw this match, you know what I mean. He wasn't like really taking moves that well and dishing them out. And Michael Tarver just seemed like really ordinary, you know, nothing like bad about him, but it's too early to tell. They weren't really, the spotlight wasn't really on them for that long, and yeah, it was just a kind of ordinary match, and that's it really. Didn't really think a lot of either of them. I mean, Heath Slater definitely has charisma, but you know, we'll just have to see him in a proper match to see what he's like and see if he's less like floppy and green, because that's what he just seemed like to me. Then there was going to be like 2 rookies against each other. There's going to be CM Punk's rookie, Darren Young, who looks like a crazy kind of like someone that should be like in the Warriors or something, against David Otunga, who's been mentored by R-Truth. And it showed a video package of David Otunga, and I thought this was quite good. It definitely showed like how his personality is. I think if he ever gets by this, he'll be like a natural heel, like with his association with Hollywood and all that. Definitely made out that he thought a lot of himself, and definitely got his character over. And Darren Young with CM Punk, it just like played off their contrasts, because Darren Young was all like bouncy and like hey, and CM Punk just seemed like ashamed that he was there. And like they showed a little clip of Punk talking, saying, oh, he should let straight edge into his life if he wants any mentoring off of me. And that's it really. But the match was fucking shit. It was just a little squash between the two, and unfortunately David Otunga just seems really sloppy and botchy. I mean, he gave him a really dangerous kind of spine buster throw that looked like it could injure someone, and he's going to have to like really brush up on that. But if he can brush up on stuff and eventually become good, I think his personality could get him quite far, because definitely like quite a natural heel there, I have to say. But yeah, the match was nothing. Didn't really get a good impression of Darren Young, but they're still introducing. And then there's the main event with this was good. Daniel Bryan Dynasty against Chris Jericho as the world champion. Chris Jericho came out with his rookie Wade Barrett, who's like this big burly British guy who's like, alright Gov, like kind of really sloppy British accent, and sounded a bit of a thug, and he got his personality across through it. But like didn't see him wrestle at all, because it was Jericho and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan came out with the Miz, and Daniel Bryan just like ran down, you know, doing his thing, and the Miz was doing that. So it sets up the tension and the scene even more. And yeah, I thought they had quite a good match. I think they could have a better one, but for like their first match in this like new ring, so it was good. I mean, Chris Jericho definitely let Daniel Bryan do a few good things, you know, some good kind of like leg lock submission, and it really put over the fact that like Daniel Bryan was a good wrestler. And there was a few things that were sloppy, like a leg drag, which like Chris Jericho just like slowly fell down to, and that's a shame really that he didn't take that well. But it was still like a pretty good match, and Daniel Bryan came out of it looking good, like he almost beat Chris Jericho. There was a nasty bit where he went for a suicide dive, and then Jericho slammed him into the announce table, and you could see the bruise on Daniel Bryan's back. It definitely like made like the crowd there that night kind of believe a bit more in Daniel Bryan. And after Jericho made Daniel Bryan tap out, the Miz attacked him, furthering what could happen in the future. So yeah, overall I quite enjoyed this show, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the show further on down the line. I mean, Daniel Bryan's promos and that, he came off quite well with the crowd, but he still seemed a little bit nervous. I mean, I think he can be good, like, eventually with his facial expressions and that. You know, as the feud, like, with Miz intensifies, I'm sure, like, we'll see more out of him. That'll be good. Well, another, Michael Cole's fucking commentary on that match just made you, like, really hate him if you knew who Daniel Bryan was before. But at the same time, if people think like wrestling is just WWE, I guess that's what a lot of people would be thinking, you know. But yeah, anyway, certain wrestling fans live in their own bubbles, and that's just true. But yeah, On a different subject, my friend Tristram has started to make videos, so go and subscribe to him and say hello. I'll leave the link in the side. But yeah, there's my thoughts on WWE NXT. Let me know what you thought if you saw it. Thank you.